Yo, so what's going on, guys? My name is Pwnstar, and this is the Diamond Vector. Now, I wanted to go ahead and showcase the Diamond Camo on all the guns in the game, and rather than just doing that, I also wanted to tell you what's special about the gun, give you the statistics about the weapon, and teach you a little bit about how I like to use it, what I like to use on it, when I like to use it, and basically everything you need to know to hopefully help you become better with the weapon, or maybe excite you enough to try out a new weapon if you're just, I guess, so used to using just one. So without further ado, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Vector. Statistically, this gun is a mediocre looking lad. You know what I mean? This one is definitely one of those guns that at first glance, statistically, it's an average weapon. But if you take a step back and you realize how it fares against the other weapons in the game, you may learn to appreciate this weapon, especially understanding that it's an early game unlock, meaning if you're one of those guys that likes to prestige a lot, you could find yourself getting into a common bond with this gun. Now, at first glance, the submachine guns in this game definitely have like a partner, if you will. They have a sidekick that has very, very similar stats, especially if you take into consideration the rate of fire throughout the weapons. Now, let's look at this, and this is exactly what I'm trying to talk about. The MP7 and the Vector both fire at 937 RPM, meaning they fire at the same rate of fire. You have the PDW and the MSMC that fire at 750, which is slightly slower, but they do have higher damage, which makes up for that fire rate. Now, the Chico, aka the CQB, that one and the Scorpion Evo happen to fire at 1250. So like I said, a lot of these guns have like a pair, a partner, that is very, very close statistically to what it is. So there are only a few things that separate a lot of these weapons. Sometimes it's a couple bullets, sometimes it's the reload, sometimes it's the recoil, and even more so, one that I think is very, very valuable, especially in Black Ops 2, is the default iron sights. Because of the customization in this game, you have limited slots, limited selections that you can use to upgrade your weapon. So finding a weapon that is a good default iron sight is definitely a priority in this game. So what I want to talk to you guys about is what makes the Vector stand out, even though it is statistically an average weapon. The Vector does fire at 937 rounds per minute. It does contain 36 bullets. You put extended mags in it, you bump it up to 48. That is definitely a good, reliable factor. Now, let me teach you a little bit about this right now. 937 rounds per minute, it being the middle rate of fire gun in the game, definitely means it's going to be pretty damn accurate, winning a lot of gunfights in close range. The only two guns that trump this one are the Chico CQB and the Scorpion Evo, as previously mentioned. So, with that knowledge at your disposal, you'll understand that almost every situation that you come across an assault rifle or an LMG or anything along the lines of that, you are going to win the gunfight in close range with this weapon. There's only one gun in the assault category that fires at the same rate, and it also has the same amount of damage, and that is the Type 25. But again, with the fact that this has extremely reliable recoil, it is definitely manageable in medium and more proficiently in close range, makes this gun slightly better than the Type 25 in close range, and it's about a toss-up in medium range. But other than that, you're going to trump over all the assault rifles. And you're also going to be able to beat a lot of the other ones. A lot of the submachine guns are quite balanced. I mean, whereas you're definitely going to lose a gunfight to the Evo, it burns through ammo so quickly that if there are more than one enemy, unless they have extended mags, odds are, he's going to get one of you and the other one's going to survive. So like I said, it's almost guaranteed to get the kill when you're using that weapon as long as you're accurate. But the drawback is the fact that if you run into any situations where you're fighting 2 or 3 guys at once, you're just kind of screwed. Or even ground war. It's obviously not an ideal weapon for ground war. So this gun definitely fills the void. With the 48 mag, with the extended mags that I equip on this weapon, I can easily get 2 to 3 kills with each magazine, making this a definite reliable weapon. And because it is such an early release weapon in the game, I definitely recommend you guys to use it. Now, what I love so much about this gun, which definitely levels this one out to me, is I like its iron sight. It's thin and narrow. It doesn't take up too much of the screen. But again, you could tell, even, look at that. That was a medium range shot right there. I mean, I didn't get the kill, but you saw how easily the recoil was maintained. And that's with the suppressor on the gun. To be completely honest, if you're trying to get into a certain map, this gun is probably ideal for the map Plaza, where there are only about 2 areas of, or pretty much 2 lines of sight where you're basically going to get into a situation where an assault rifle will beat you. And that's basically if you're standing on the middle area, aiming down one of those long streets. That is about the only situation that you will lose a gunfight with this weapon. But again, like I said, your only real competition with this weapon is shotguns, obviously because of close range, and other submachine guns. And I know you guys are like, oh wow, but there are a lot of submachine guns. That's true. But again, this one definitely does hold the bar above some of the others. Now, I said it does have a partner system. Now, what that partner is the MP7. The MP7 has slightly more ammunition than this one. And the MP7 also reloads slightly faster than a Vector, giving it a little bit better edge over the gun, but it's so minuscule that it's pretty much going to come down to the iron sights that you prefer the most. And because of the history with just coming off of Modern Warfare 3 with a lot of people using the MP7, that's why the majority of people use the MP7 over the Vector. Now let me tell you what I like to use on this gun. This is definitely one of my go-to guns. I can't tell you why. I mean, statistically, everything like that is out of the book. I can't tell you why, but this is one of my favorite guns in the game to run suppressed. I don't know what it is. I can't tell you if there's a fact behind it. There may be a hidden feature. But I love the iron sights to this weapon. It seems somewhat level. Look at the manageable recoil. And even for a rate of fire weapon such as this, I think it is much more manageable than the MP7, which is what I think gives it a little bit better edge. This gun, in my opinion, is better than the MP7 with the silencer. And if you're looking for a gun that is a submachine gun in close range that you can really, really rely on, not saying that the MP7 doesn't do it, but this one I feel works for me a little bit better. So if you're trying to find that close range submachine gun that works, has decent manageable recoil, also decent rate of fire on top of the manageable amount of ammunition, I want you to guys try this with this loadout. Try it suppressed, try the silencer on it, try extended mags. You can easily get 2 to 3 kills with each one of the magazines. I find myself using this weapon, and even without scavenger, I could build up to get a swarm. Like, no problem, no questions asked. It's a definite reliable weapon. So basically, if you're trying to find a stealthy weapon, a suppressed weapon of choice, try to use this one before, just slapping it onto your current favorite weapon, because it may surprise you. So, without further ado, I want to tell you about how my wife owned me last night. Now that you found out the stats about this weapon, what I'd recommend you guys to use this on. Obviously, this is a reliable gun on many of the maps, because most maps do offer up many close combat situations. But to be honest, last night, my wife owned the shit out of me. The guys on the live stream with me yesterday saw it. But basically, I went down to greet my wife because she came home from a stressful day. And I was like, hey, baby, how you doing? Gave her a hug, a kiss, and, all that good stuff. I came back upstairs to rejoin my guys on the live stream. And I'd say about 2 minutes in, I get a message in the live stream saying, oh, my God, Pone, I knew you were gay. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? He's like, check your Twitter. At that point, I took the opportunity to give myself a pat down. I frisked the hell out of myself, and then I realized I did not have my cell phone. And then I realized, damn, my wife got my cell phone. And then I realized, damn, she said something that is probably extremely honest and makes me sound gay. And of course it was, no. So I hop on Twitter, and I basically see this. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, she owned me. She owned me pretty hard. But, so that was my embarrassing moment of the day yesterday. I'm so grateful to have such an amazing wife like that. If you guys can come up with any other comebacks to get revenge on her, let me know down below. Keep in mind she is pregnant, so I can't do anything that would jeopardize her or the baby. But, again, I want to thank you guys. I would really, really appreciate it if you take the moment to thumbs up this video. If you could drop a like on it, add it to your favorites, share it around on Twitter. I'd really like this one to start off really, really strong. I want to be able to teach you guys to become better players, give you guys some of my loadouts, and I feel this one can help you guys a little bit more than my standard commentaries, but those will still be here too. So I want to thank you guys. Hopefully you guys try out the Vector. Like I said, try it with my loadout. It's going to definitely surprise you guys. And like I said, stick to close range situations, maps like Plaza, Standoff, so on and so forth. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. Get it.